Hi guys, it was finally a nice warm day in New Jersey and I needed to clean my car out. So I figured why not just do the whole inside and get it nice and clean. So the first thing I do is I always remove the mats so that after you wash them and then they dry in the sun, they'll be ready to put back in the car like when you're done cleaning the rest of it. Because if you wait to do it last, then the mats are still gonna be wet and then you're gonna try to put them in the car and I don't like that. So quick tip is to do them first. And it's always a struggle getting these mats out of the car. I'm having to like bend them and it's just tough to remove them. I guess they just fit like so tight and perfectly. I'm having to wrestle them to get them out. So once they're all out, I give them a quick shake to get out all the dirt and just any big pieces of food or whatnot that's stuck on there. And I like doing this rather than vacuuming the mats because I find that why not just shake it out and then I'm gonna clean them with a little bit of soap and water here in a second. So what I like to use is a little bit of Dawn Power Wash spray. So I coat the mats pretty thoroughly with a few sprays on each mat. And normally I would just use my hose, but since I just literally turned on the spigot, I just filled up a couple of buckets. So I'm just gonna let the soapy water soak up in the mats and then I just use a scrub brush and it works really good. If you wanted to get fancy, you could use one of those electric power scrubbers. They work great too. I wanted to do this video in ASMR. I thought it would be really cool, but all the neighbors were being loud AF. Dogs were barking, someone was cutting down trees, and I just don't have the mic or like the equipment to get in there. So maybe next time, but I really want to do that. I thought that would be really cool. So once they're nice and clean, I just tip them over and then take another bucket of water and just dump all the remaining soap off. This is so much easier when I have the hose hooked up. But this was the first really nice day going into spring now here, so I wanted to take full advantage. So I'm gonna let these mats dry in the sun, and by the time I'm done cleaning the rest of the car, well, they'll be good to go. First, I'm gonna clean everything out of my car. I do like to keep like a little bag of essentials, which you'll see right here. I found masks and a duster and just some random stuff in there. But so this is a life hammer, breaks the glass, cuts the seatbelt, a must-have in your car. I just have like hand sanitizer. Of course, I have a bunch of straws and just random stuff that I like to keep in there when I'm on the go so that I always have it. I always have sunscreen, chapstick with SPF. I love this chapstick. It is so good. I'll link some of the stuff down below if you're interested. And then I always keep mascara because sometimes if I'm going out, I like to just pop that on. So using the Amor All protectant spray today, I really like this stuff. Just using a microfiber cloth to wipe everything down. It's really good at like buffing out any smudges and it gets all in the nooks and crannies and gets everything nice and clean. It doesn't leave any dusty residue behind. Pulling out this stuff here. So I always keep books in my car. You never know when you're gonna have time to read, so I just have like random books in there in case I get a minute. And of course, there's always just old random garbage, pulling everything out. And I always like to keep a notebook in my car and paper plates because I'm always eating my car. But I like to have a notebook, so then this way, if you need to write something down important, it's just nice to have some pen and paper when you're on the go. I do always keep a plastic garbage bag in the car just to get the kids to start throwing their garbage out, but it's amazing what you'll find. I found like 20 Tic Tacs just stuck to the car door. I found more books that I'm gonna move up front there, just keep all the books together. And then of course, clearing out the garbage, I find random things like Pop-Tarts and just Eggo waffles that were just left on the floor. Finally getting to the vacuuming. So this is a little shop vac. It is by Bauer. I will link it down below. It has really, really good suction power. I love this thing. I use this thing for like the garage, getting all in places, sucking up just a bunch of crap. And it works great for the car. Then I got this little stand here on TikTok Shop. It is great, especially if you have to do like a lot of calls from your car or just like, you know, MapQuest, video calls. I use it for everything. Love it. I'll link it down below if I can find it. And I'm just trying to get this car seat good enough because my son's going to be out of it soon, the booster. And that thing is just, it needs to be retired. It is gross. I wish that this vacuum had a little attachment to get like really small in there, but I just use a brush and kind of brush out all the crumbs. And then once I have them all out of there, I'm able to suck them up. So this area is the center console. So what I do is I just take the little rubber things out and then I put them in a little soap and water. Luckily, the third row is pretty clean. The kids don't go back there too much. So I was able to breeze through it pretty quickly. So to clean the little rubber grippers or coasters, whatever you want to call them, I just do a little soap and water, let them soak in there for a couple minutes, and then let them air dry, put them back in, and you're good to go. So this seat needs a lot of work. There's a lot of food just wedged in there. A lot of just stuck food to the seat. So I'll take a cloth with a little soapy water and wipe that down, see if I can get it nice and clean. So I'm just taking a little cloth with a little bit of soapy water, wiping down the seats here. I'm also gonna wipe down the, I don't know what to call it, but you'll see it here in a minute. So it's like all the plastic when you first open the door. Like, I don't know, what would you call that? I wanna say like a kickboard, I don't know. Anyway, it works really good, gets them looking nice and clean. It's not perfect, but it's a lot better than it was. Like if you have kids that have dirty sneakers, or shoes and they're always kicking the back of your seat and there's a bunch of mud and scuffs, I just take a little soapy water and scrub the back of the seat and it comes off and it looks so much better. And I like to use a little duster to get into the air vents. It works really good to get a lot of the dust out. So time to organize and put everything back here for what I like to keep in the side of the door. And I always like to just keep the books there so that if I do have time, I can read a bit of them. And also keeping a duster in the car, I'll just grab it whenever I see it's getting really dusty. And then I just polish it with Amor All. And Costco and I think like BJ's or Sam's Club, they always have a pack of like Amor All, like everything that you would need, the tire, scrubber, all that stuff. I want to say I bought like a huge bucket of it maybe last year. I don't know if like Target or Walmart or Amazon might have it. I will look, and if I can find anything, I'll definitely put it down below in the description. And I always keep a stash of good plastic straws in my center console because McDonald's only gives out paper straws. So it's just not the same. Like if you know, you know, that's all I'll say. Taking a tiny bit of soapy water here on a soft sponge. You have to make sure you do it on the soft side, of course. And I like to just lightly buff over, just get all the dirt out. I also like to do it on my gas pedal and the brake, and make sure that you wipe it really, really good with a dry towel. I just like it to look clean, and there was a lot of mud on my pedal, so now we're looking nice and fresh again. The mats are nice and dry now, so I'm going to drop them back in. This was really hard for me to film one-handed, and when I was using the other tripod, my whole body was getting in the way, so that wasn't working either. So this was difficult to film. So I gotta grab my yoga mat, and I'm gonna put it in the trunk this time so that the kids don't scuff it up. But I hope that you guys like this video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.